What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are back with some more new look rebuilds. As today we're going to be doing a new look Milwaukee Bucks rebuild today, even though they didn't change all that much. It's just been a while since we've done a Bucks rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. Dropping a like on this video helps push it out to the YouTube algorithm, so thank you guys for doing that. Really greatly appreciated. But looking at this Bucks roster, like I said, they didn't change all that much. They acquired Joe Ingles via free agency, and I think that's it. They also re-signed Pat Connaughton, Serge Ibaka, Wesley Matthews, so not a whole lot of additions to the team. They drafted Marjon Beauchamp, which I'm happy to have him. I had to restart this video because 2K actually ends up cutting Beauchamp, so we're going to try to fix that this time. I feel like I'm going to have to cut somebody myself, so I'm going to have to cut Carter, which I don't want to do necessarily, and I'm going to probably have to cut Tucker as well because, like I said, last video, like when I was just recording this, they cut Beauchamp for me, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. And hopefully the Noira is back, and then that is your guys going down overall. So not great. Doesn't look all that great. So hopefully going into next season, they don't cut Marjon Beauchamp for me this time. But I want to take a look at the rotation together, which is why I cut those two guys, because, again, I didn't want Beauchamp being cut. So only reason I cut them was because of that reason. Let's look at the rotation, though. And I know I'm not sold on this rotation right now because I have a feeling Drew Holiday is just going to continue to go down in overall, so I might be looking to trade him in this video, which I don't know if the Bucks do that in real life, but in this video, I might have to. We'll see. And then you have Bobby Portis as the starting center and Brook Lopez backing him up. I think in real life, you could argue that Brook Lopez probably starts and Portis is off the bench, and maybe in some lineups, Portis is out there. Regardless, though, we're going to wait to probably the trade deadline because I feel like there's some moves to be made for this team at the trade deadline. Right now, we're at 4.5 defensive proficiency. So we'll move this to a defensive system. We're going to simulate probably to the trade deadline and make a move because there's a certain guy I have in mind for this Bucks team that I think makes a lot of sense. If we can snag him, I think be the perfect addition and replacement for what we have right now. So we are stopped at the trade deadline, as right now we are currently the 5th seed in the East. I'm feeling pretty good about that, but I do want to make an addition here at the trade deadline. So originally I thought getting somebody that made a lot of sense would be like Miles Turner from the Pacers, right? He'd be like kind of the perfect replacement for what you have right now in Brook Lopez, who's going down on overall. But I want to change it up a little bit today, and I want to get somebody else, actually. So I want a brand new shooting guard, and I'm just going to continue to roll with Bobby Portis at center because he's pretty cheap, and he's only 20 years old, 6'10", so I think he does a fine job, and he fits proficiency pretty well. So I'm fine with Bobby Portis being the starting center throughout the video. I want to use Brook Lopez's expiring salary right now to acquire me like a brand new shooting guard, because right now we're starting Grayson Allen, which I don't mind that. I would rather maybe have a little bit of something different, and they have Pat Connaughton as well, which those are two solid players and they fit their role very perfectly. But what if we could find somebody that's even better is the question. So if we take a look around the league, and I'm looking for shooting guard, small forward position, like a Desmond Bane would be perfect, but are the Memphis Grizzlies really giving him up? Probably not. Rozier, nah, I'm good on that. Mitchell would be like the star to go after. Harrison Barnes, if he didn't go down in overall so much, I would definitely be interested. And even Kevin Huerter wouldn't be a bad idea either. Austin Reeves, Jalen Suggs, Dinwiddie, you got Seth Curry, which I don't really want. KCP almost seems perfect, but I mean, the Nuggets just got him. He'll probably go down overall. Buddy Hield is another interesting addition that Milwaukee can maybe go after. Hamdou Diallo wouldn't be too shabby. But there's a certain guy I have in mind that I don't think the Thunder give him up, but right now says they're rebuilding, even though they're the 4th seed. Lou Dort almost sounds like somebody that I would love in Milwaukee, but why would the Thunder really give him up? Even Josh Hart on the Blazers, but they're the 3rd seed. So, I mean, I'm trying to find the most perfect scenario for us as far as getting a good shooting guard who would fit perfectly next to Giannis and just be a great addition going forward. And maybe that is Kevin Huerter right here, which I do like the idea of. He's only 24 years old in Sacktown, and he might be the perfect addition. I don't know if the Kings would give him up after just trading for him, but the Kings are the Kings. He's got an 8 3-point shot, but he'd be kind of the perfect addition here in Milwaukee. Shooting 40% from 3, has decent perimeter defense. So you know what? Instead of going for Lou Dort, who is my dream scenario here, I'm going to try to snag Kevin Huerter from the Sacramento Kings if possible. I'm going to give them Brook Lopez as a starting point to this trade. And I think Jordan Nwora in this trade is fair as well. So Lopez, Jordan Nwora for Kevin Huerter. Do they agree to this? Jordan Nwora, why does he have a no trade clause? That doesn't make any sense. So let me fix that real quick, and we're coming back to this trade. So because I'm going to be relying on Marjon Beauchamp to eventually enter the rotation, I guess I'm going to be trading Jordan Nwora. Even I do... Whoa, per 36. He averaged 22.5 points per game. But even though I do like Jordan Nwora, and trading him may be regretful here, but I'm going to offer this up. They do not agree to that. I wouldn't throw more than a couple seconds to make this work. They still don't agree. Wow, I thought for sure this would go through. 3 seconds, and boom. We get Kevin Huerter here at the trade deadline and add him to the mix. They already have perfect shooting guard to put next to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he kind of is similar prototype to like Grayson Allen and Pat Connaughton. So now you have 3 of those guys in your rotation, guys that play defense, shoot threes, and that's all you really need. So I really like those, or I really like that new addition. And then I think our bench needs to get better. Hopefully Marjon Beauchamp can progress really well, because I'm basically relying on him to be really good next year, because I just traded away Jordan Nwora for that reason. So hopefully that is the case, but for now he's not getting any minutes. So maybe I should give him like 10 minutes per game to kind of help him out a little bit. So he'll get like 9 minutes right now, and then probably the playoffs he may not get any. And then while we're at the trade deadline, I want to see if there's any extensions that make sense for us. So right now, Grayson Allen, I think I do want to continue to keep around. Chris Middleton, I'm debating on. He does want to sign an extension. What is he doing this year for us? If we look at the stats for this season, see if this makes sense for us. He is averaging 22, and I feel like to keep Giannis happy, we'll go ahead and give Middleton his extension. So we'll re-sign Middleton to a new 3-year deal. Now, Jrue Holiday, on the other hand, may not be safe, and he might be used in a trade this offseason, not going to lie. But regardless, let's keep simulating. We got Kevin Huerter. The team's doing pretty well. Let's see how we do for the rest of the season. Luka Doncic wins MVP at the end of the season. Chet's your Rookie of the Year. Tyler Hero's your 6th man in Miami. Giannis Defensive Player, which always seems to be that way. Most Improved Wiseman. And Ime Udoka is your Coach of the Year. Park is your Executive. So Giannis makes All-NBA First Team as expected. All-NBA Second Team got Trey, Shea, Jimmy Butler, LeBron, and Embiid. And All-NBA Third Team, All Defense First Team, and All Defensive Second Team. So right now we are currently the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference, going up against our familiar foe, which is the Miami Heat. Giannis averaging 27, 22 for Chris Middleton, and 19 from Jrue Holiday. So Jrue Holiday is not really doing anything wrong, and he's like the perfect third option, and I love Jrue Holiday. But in 2K, I know he's going to continue to go down in overall, and he's going to keep ruining our chances of being good. So I might have to trade him this offseason, which I don't feel great about. Then Kevin Huerter averaged 10 on 42% from 3, which is beautiful, which is what I grabbed him for. And then hopefully Marjon maybe developed a little bit. But I am going to shrink this down to a 9-man rotation for the playoffs. They want to start Grayson Allen over Huerter, which I disagree with. I want to go ahead and have Huerter in there. And then Ingles. And then Marjon was having some things going, averaging 3 points per game. Nothing crazy. All right. Well, here we go. We get Miami in round 1. Like I mentioned, they have Miles Bridges, which maybe I should just, you know what, whatever. Hopefully we can beat him regardless. So make her round. We win game 1. It's a close. We're going to a game 7. So game 7 early on in Miami. Can we beat the Miami Heat is the question, and go to the second round here as the Bucks. I mean, it'd be disappointing if we lost in round 1 here, but it'd be kind of disappointing for Miami as well. So both these teams have a lot on the line, and I think we squeezed it out. We did. So we beat them by 11, and we beat them in 7. Middleton 28, feeling good on his extension, and Jrue Holiday was 16 and 6. Kevin Huerter with 14, 3 of 4 from 3. So love the addition of Kevin Huerter, and now we get Now we might get the 8th seeded Knicks, or we get the 1st seeded Celtics. Let's see what we get. We get the Celtics. So a Bucks versus Celtics series, and you got Philly, Atlanta. Once again, 2 teams that are very, very familiar with each other. They match up all the time. Game 1, we're down 1-0. Not a great start. Game 2, they're up 2-0. Can we even it up and force? No. Are we going to lose in 5? All right, so we lose to the Celtics in 5 games. So we need to look to retool a little bit in the offseason. The Hawks going to win the championship. So we need to get better in the offseason. Carmelo retires in Minnesota, which there are some ramblings about him potentially signing in Denver, which I think is cool. We can go back to Denver. But let's go to the draft lottery, and let's see what we got going on here. I don't think we have a pick or anything like that, so probably nothing to worry about here. Maybe we do have a first, I'm just not seeing it, but I'm pretty sure we don't. So staff signing, we're going to keep Mike Budenholzer, and then I'm just going to fill this out real quick. And we might be looking to trade Jrue Holiday because I know he's just going to go down overall even more. And we got eliminated in round 2, so we got to get better. So I don't know what point guard we're going to be looking for, or maybe we're not looking for a point guard. We go for something else. We got to find something to get better. So I was initially going for a dream scenario like trading for Lonzo Ball or something like that, but it looks like the Bulls gave Kobe White a fat extension, so they can't even afford Jrue Holiday. So it's kind of hard for him to match his salary with Lonzo, but he would have been kind of my dream scenario here. So instead, we're going to settle for something a little bit different, which is something I usually do not go for whatsoever. But I don't have any draft picks really, so I don't have a ton of ammunition to make this kind of trade. So it looks like I'm going to be losing a little bit of value in a Jrue Holiday trade, but I have a guy that I feel like isn't too shabby, and he's very underrated, and we're getting a pick out of it, and that is this trade right here. So I think Drew Holiday is going to be down to like a 79 or 81 anyway. So why don't we just go get that right now, get a first round pick, and get like half the salary taken away. And then like, let's just focus on solidifying our bench. So Tyus Jones would be our brand new point guard here in Milwaukee. Again, I don't think you do this in real life because Drew Holiday is a great player. But in 2K, I know he's going to continue to go down overall, and we're not going to have any chance of winning a championship. So let's go ahead and cut our costs a little bit. Grab Tyus Jones, grab this first round pick, and let's make this trade happen. And Tyus Jones right now, something I usually don't roll with, is going to be my starting point guard on this team. And he's not a bad player to have next to Giannis whatsoever. He's a guy that could definitely make a little bit, play off ball. So I'm okay with that. And now our backcourt is Tyus Jones and Kevin Huerter. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I really want to make the bench super strong after making that trade. That is my goal now. So Drew Holiday is gone. Again, I would not trade him in real life, but in 2K, I know he's going to go down overall. So let's go straight to player options. Let's focus on making this a great bench. So Hugo Besson, go ahead and sign him. Qualifying offers, none. And then free agency, we have bird rights on Ibaka, which he's not really what I'm looking for. Thomas is, I mean, if he's there when I'm done signing free agents, I'll sign him back. And what can I afford? So we have Derrick Rose, Gary Harris, Reggie Bullock, Larry Nance, and then Montrezl Harrell. Okay, so I want to make the bench super strong. So Tyus Jones, then we have Kevin Huerter, Grayson Allen, which I like. So that's a good bench. And Pat Connaughton. Then you have Giannis and then Bobby Portis. So our front court depth is not all that great. So maybe I'm looking for that. I like Grayson Allen, but I think I might end up trading Pat Connaughton for a better backup front court player and rely on Marjan to just continue to progress at that backup small forward spot, hoping he can get better. So that's what my plan is going to be there. And then we're going to try to trade Connaughton for a backup 4 right now, or backup center. Either way, how much money is he making exactly? He's making around $8 million. So I think I could find a good front court player for that. So if we take a look around the league, Robinson, Kemba Walker, Azubuike is cool and all, THT, Chuma Okeke from Orlando, Bertans Schroeder, KCP almost is a really good addition, but we don't need guards really. But Chris Boucher from the Raptors is kind of intriguing. Jayshawn Tate as well. Kendrick Williams, Kyle Anderson from Minnesota. That's another intriguing option. And Kevon Looney. You don't really get Kevon Looney in an offer all that much. The Warriors probably would never trade Kevon Looney, but you know what? I'm going to make this trade. I'm going to trade them Pat Connaughton a second round pick, and we're going to get Kevon Looney as our brand new backup center. So we're just trying to make the bench as good as possible with what we got right now, and hope Giannis and Chris Middleton could just level up and be really good. So that is the plan. So now we have Kevon Looney. So we need a backup power forward or a backup shooting guard. And I see Derrick Rose out here. I think he's going to go down in overall, or would immediately sign him. Larry Nance, Derrick Jones Jr. One of these guys would be a really nice addition to the team. So probably going to go with one of those guys. Which one do I want, though? Do I want Vincent Theo, or do I want like Larry Nance or Derrick Jones Jr.? I'm going to go with, I guess Theo isn't for my, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with Derrick Jones. I like the idea of Derrick Jones being my backup power forward. Someone that can play defense a little bit on the perimeter. And I guess we have a trade exception with Drew Holiday worth $23 million. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Maybe the trade deadline. Maybe we can put somebody into our $23 million trade exception using a first round pick. I don't know what you'd get, but we can definitely take a look at it. So that is my offseason. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't think we're quite done yet. Grayson Allen goes down, and then no one else. And then Mo Cham didn't go down, or didn't go up that much. So maybe relying on him to be like a really good piece isn't the best idea. Middleton stayed the same, so that's good. But yeah, I don't think we're anywhere close to where we want to be. Maybe we look for that $20 million player right now. We have a $23 million trade exception. It looks like I can't player finder yet. So let me go straight to 2K Hoop Summit. And then let me player finder for a guy making around that much money and see if it's even possible to grab him here. Because maybe we should just go with it now, and that way we don't waste any more time. So I'm going to take a look. If not, I'm probably just going to send away either to the trade deadline or at the end of the season. I like my team overall, but I definitely think it needs to get a little bit better. Just a little bit more. So right now, we are currently not very good. So I'm using this trade exception in the middle of the season on Mitchell Robinson. I don't know how that's going to, elevate us, but I got to try something. So Bobby Portis, I'm going to actually move him to the power forward now. So he's going to be playing off the bench. So now this is what your team's going to look like. So it's Tyus Jones, Huerter, Middleton, Giannis, Mitch Robinson, Bobby Portis, power forward, Kevon Looney, Grayson Allen, and Derrick Jones Jr. And then I'm not done after that. I actually want to go ahead and just increase the team's overall even more here. So I'm actually going to throw Derrick Jones Jr. and probably Beauchamp in a trade. I don't want to trade Beauchamp, but at this point, I am trying to make the playoffs and be there. Drummond, but maybe I don't make this trade. Dinwiddie, I guess, as a backup point guard from Sacramento. I mean, maybe just continue to stay patient. I like the addition. Saban Lee is maybe solid, but then Carrick Williams and Trey Man. Those are some interesting trades, but I don't think I want to just trade Beauchamp in a dumb trade. So I'm just going to hope that Mitchell Robinson addition elevates us a little bit, and then the bench just got a little bit better. So hopefully this will be good enough. I like what we have, but just not performing very well right now. And then maybe Middleton has to be traded. We'll see. We're going to continue to simulate. Right now, we have a lot of L's on the board. So hopefully, Mitch Robinson turns our season around. Not that he really does that, but in 2K, you never know. Maybe just grabbing one person, moving a position can help out a ton. So Luka wins MVP, Wembanyama Rookie of the Year in San Antonio. So it looks like they were successful getting Wembanyama. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year again. Kuminga Most Improved. Nick McMillan Coach of the Year, and Park is your executive. So All NBA First Team, Giannis Antetokounmpo makes it, which is a W. All NBA Third Team, All Defensive or All NBA Second Team, All Defensive First Team, and All Defensive Second Team. Giannis Antetokounmpo being here, and obviously we're not gonna have anybody else. So we ended up making the playoffs as the 5th seed. So that Mitchell Robinson addition really helped out a ton. So we had 29 from Giannis, 25 from Middleton. So Middleton is playing great. So it's not like I think he's the problem. So I like that he's over 25, and they have 15 from Portis, 13 from Tyus Jones, which I actually extended Tyus Jones the extension deadline. I also extended Giannis Antetokounmpo. So we have those two locked up even longer. And then you have Kevin Huerter with 12, 10.5, 8, and then 2 blocks from Mitchell Robinson. So that probably helped out a lot. Marjan, when he got minutes, averaged 8. So that's good to see. And Grayson Allen with 8, and then 5 and 7 from Kevon Looney. So hopefully we just have a good run here. So we get to play Brooklyn in round 1. They have Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Simmons, Cameron Thomas. They got pretty much the same team, except they have Hunter and Schroeder. So game 1, we're up 1-0 to start things off. These two teams have matched up. They're very familiar, and we all know how that ended, Kevin Durant's toe. But right now we're up 2-0 to start things off. 3-0. I think the Mitchell Robinson edition really put us over the top. Oh my gosh, we just swept them. Okay. Now we get Atlanta in round 1, or round 2, I should say, and they are the 1st seed in the East. So they got DeJounte, who's been a very crazy story this offseason so far. But I'm liking how my team is looking. So let's see if we can upset the Hawks. We lose game 1. We do even it up, though. So that's a good sign. 43 from Chris Middleton, which is why we paid Chris Middleton to stay here. But we might lose here in this game 4. I'm actually going to go with an 8-man rotation. I am very desperate to win a championship here with Giannis Antetokounmpo. We're going to go ahead and make this change, and we're going to go to a 8-man rotation and try to even up the series here. So in Milwaukee, in front of our hometown fans, let's not go down 3-1 to Atlanta, please. And it's not looking good for us so far. And actually, we take it at the end, but they take it back, and they win by 1. That's not great. Okay, so Atlanta looks like they're actually going to upset us here, unless we can force a 3-1 comeback here, which it's one game at a time. And they're going to take the lead, and they're probably going to run away with it, it's looking like, unless we squeeze it out the end. And no, so Atlanta ends up beating us 41. Is DeJounte Murray on extension, or is he about to be? He's about to be a free agent, so hopefully they lose DeJounte Murray, and we can kind of run it back. I really like my roster as it sits right now. The Celtics go on to win the championship. Atlanta's the team that beat me, and then Boston's one of those teams as well. LeBron James retires. So a lot of retirements. That could definitely help us. Gallinari is gone. Not that that makes a crazy change. But I think I like my roster how it sits, and we have a lot of players under contract. Marjan can only get better. I'm feeling pretty good. Player options, Kevon Looney, I'm going to accept. Beauchamp going to accept. Mason Jones and Hugo Besson, if they want to come back, I'm down with that. And then free agency, we have none. But we probably can use a mid-level to get a better free agent here. So right now, we can make our bench even stronger. So I like what I have. Middleton is probably going to go down in overall. But I'm going to go ahead and snag a backup point guard, or just kind of whatever I can get. So I have Kendrick Nunn. What else can I get? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and I think I am going to sign. I would love Caruso, but I think he's going to go down in overall. Give me Caruso. Give me Alex Caruso. That would be a nice addition to the team. And I think we're good. So I'm ready to roll again and run it back with the same roster, as long as Middleton doesn't go down in overall too much. Hugo's down. Middleton only went down 1 in overall. I'm okay with that. Caruso went down 2, kind of figured. So we're going to run it back one more year. Hopefully this is our year. I think if DeJounte Murray left Atlanta, we could definitely be in a good spot. We're the 1st seed power ranking. Did DeJounte leave Atlanta is the question. He did. So that could definitely work out in our favor. So hopefully this year, nobody can stop us, and we can go win a championship. So a very successful 3rd season, as Bobby Portis gets 6th man of the year, averaging 18 off the bench. Giannis wins defensive player, and then Mike Budenholzer is your coach of the year, 62-20. So with this roster all together for one season, things went very, very well. 1st seed in the Eastern Conference. If you take a look at the player stats real quick. You had 26 from Giannis, 25 from Middleton, 19 from Bobby Portis, 14 from Huerter, 12 from Tyus Jones, 12 and 8. And then as far as shooting is concerned, 32%, 40, 37, 38, 33. Not too shabby. And then Allen off the bench, 37. And we're ready to roll. So let's see if we can, from the first seed, go win a championship this year. If we get upset by an 8th seed to start this playoffs off, then I'm just completely bamboozled and done. But we beat them in 5. And now we get the team that eliminated us last year, but they no longer have DeJounte Murray. So I'm looking to turn things around. Win game 1. Win game 2. Come on, baby. Let's go. 3-0. And we beat them in 5. Let's go, baby. We're back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in this video. It's been a while, but we got here. And then we have Barnes, Redmond quickly. I'm not that terrified of this Raptors roster. It's not too bad, but I feel like we've played better rosters. So hopefully we can just beat them real quick. And we're up 2-0. 2-1. Can we beat them in 5? Yes, please. Yes. Okay, we are in the finals. I've gotten to this point many times, though, and I've been upset in the finals. It's been a while since your boy has won a championship, and this roster doesn't look all that intimidating, so I think we can do it. Devin Booker is doing his thing, but as long as we clamp up D-Book, I think we should be in the clear. 1-1. Come on, man. Do not... Bro, please don't lose to Phoenix, man. Like, I feel like winning a championship for me is one of the hardest things ever. Please don't go down 3-1. Okay. Win game 5. Yes. Can we beat them in 6? Yes, finally. Holy moly. It is a Christmas freaking miracle. I don't know if you've been watching the last 5 or whatever videos. I've been upset in the finals so many damn times. Finally got a damn championship, and this one is for Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks. So that is his 2nd ring with the Bucks. I'm going to end it there on a high note. I'm glad we kept Middleton around as well. I was definitely debating on trading him, but I'm glad we didn't. And I put together an interesting roster around Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then Middleton and Giannis were my 2 powerhouses. And then you got some good role players in Huerter, Tyus Jones, Bobby Portis, Mitchell Robinson. So I'm feeling good. I think that Drew Holiday trade was very underrated. It got me Jones and Mitchell Robinson. So I'm feeling good about how that trade went because use that trade exception on Mitchell Robinson. But I'm going to end it there. I hope you boys enjoy this one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.